All right, welcome back to kelusport. My name is Harry Anderson. I'm joined with the wonderful Akhilesh Bodugum. He's a professional cricket player. He plays for Washington Freedom of Major League Cricket. He's also played for the likes of the Atlanta Fire, Seattle Thunderbolts, and Dallas Euphoria Giants. So I guess my first question for you, because I also currently reside in the U.S., and being a cricket fan in America, it's a very exciting time right now. So I guess, when did you realize, personally, that you would actually be a part of Major League Cricket? Because it's been exciting enough as a fan, so I guess, when did you realize you were actually going to be a player?
Yes, so I was actually playing cricket in India until the age of 19. And then when I realized that minor league was starting and cricket was picking up in the America, that's when I decided to move to the US in 2020 because I saw a promising product in Major League that was then announced. And I saw that as a good opportunity for the domestic players, especially as a big platform to showcase our talent. So in 2020 is when I decided that I'll leave India and start playing cricket in the US because I saw the market and the sport growing here.
So when you decided to leave India, did you know that Major League Cricket was in the works, or could you have, or did you plan to just play minor leagues at that point?
So then minor league was launched and it was the platform towards major league. There was an announcement that this is a pathway towards major league. So I knew that major league was going to start in a couple of years time, and that's when I decided to come in and start playing the minor league. So I'm in the pathway towards major league.
Yeah, that's really, really exciting. Definitely what a time to be alive for cricket in the US. Obviously with the World Cup now, everything's going very well. But so I guess, what's it like preparing for Major League Cricket season? Because one thing I was wondering about franchise cricket, and what I feel like makes it different from any other sport, is how you might be with the team for just 2 months at a time. So I guess, how much time do you have to prepare? How much time do you have to kind of get together as a team, and what are the challenges of that?
So we usually have a preseason camp with the team. Our preseason camp this year is starting this weekend from the what's the day? The 23rd is when our camp is starting. So all the
very
players,
soon.
yeah, so all the players get together 2 weeks before the season starts. So that's when we do all our training, our practice together as a team. So we get time to gel together, because it's especially in franchise cricket, it's really important that you get to know each other as soon as possible and start playing as a team together, because you're not together year long and you just assemble before the tournament. Also, the other good thing is there are a few players that have been retained from last season. So it's good to play along with known names and known players. So that's a good thing.
How much of an impact do you think that has, kind of maybe having a player you might have played the season before for another team? Do you think it makes a big difference on the team chemistry?
Definitely, cricket being a team sport, I think it's really important that the chemistry as well as the team getting along is really important. And that's why I see a lot of the franchises that have been successful in cricket have always had their core remain together, and that helps in better understanding of each other and contributing when the time arises.
Yeah, definitely. And with Major League Cricket, because one thing that surprised me as a fan was how quickly a lot of big names from the cricketing world kind of joined. So is that something, because obviously you said when you moved you had in mind the pathway to eventually be a part of Major League Cricket, but when Major League Cricket actually did form, were you expecting all kind of the big names like Faf du Plessis, Glenn Phillips? Were you kind of expecting that, or did that come as a surprise to you, do you think?
I was actually surprised with the amount of names that came in the first season. I was expecting the big names to come in probably with a season to go or the second season, but them showing interest in the first year was really surprising for me, and I felt like it was really competitive because the best in the world were there in season one itself. So I think that's the only beginning, and it's only going to get better and bigger from there.
Yeah, because with the current format, for anyone who might not know, with Major League Cricket, is last season at least they had the grounding North Carolina, then Texas. So I guess, how does that compare? Because obviously MLC does want to make the push towards a traditional kind of, each team has their own stadium, but what's that like? Does it kind of feel like a more tournament vibe? What's it like as a player in that environment where kind of all the games are at two grounds?
Honestly, it was really a wonderful stadium that was put up last year in Dallas. I know that was like very short time, but it's like one of the best stadiums that I've ever played, and so that was really a great job. And being in the United States, there's not a lot of infrastructure, and getting to play in those facilities itself, I feel, is a big opportunity for us right now. So we're happy getting to play in good grounds for now, and hopefully the other grounds also get ready soon, so we get to play there as well.
Yeah, one thing that's really impressed me with cricket in America was the creativity, I guess, that was used. When you look at the Cricket World Cup, the current ground in New York that was converted from a park, and I believe was one of the MLC grounds of former minor league baseball stadium. So that's really impressed me. So it's just been great to see the recent growth of cricket. Which brings me to my next question, and we have kind of touched on it already. But like, what do you make of kind of like the current growth of cricket in the U.S.? I guess do you feel that maybe the U.S. can kind of break into being like a serious cricketing nation in World Cups to come?
For sure, for sure. I think we've already seen the quality of cricket that the U.S. cricket team is playing right now in the current World Cup, and this being U.S.'s first World Cup, if the quality is up there, competing with one of the top teams in cricket, and them doing well is a good sign. I think it's only gonna get better and bigger from here onwards, and there's a lot of talent, but they were lacking opportunities all these years. But I feel Major League has given a big platform for all the players to get there where they've been dreaming of.
Yeah, and I mean, we already said it, but one thing that really surprised me is how quick this all happened. Because obviously, like you said, like we knew the big names were going to join MLC just because of how big the American sports market is. But the first season, I think it surprised both of us, and I think we knew the USA were always kind of trying to break into the Cricket World Cup, but the fact they were hosting it, and obviously that win against Pakistan will go down in history. I think it just surprised me how quick it's all happened. But it's been great to see as someone who's lived in the U.S. just as a cricket fan. It's good. It's almost like a cricket desert up to this point, but it's definitely not the case anymore. And I guess a little more of like just kind of like more of a personal question. Do you have like a favorite cricketer of all time? Maybe like an inspiration?
Yes, my favorite has been Sunil Narayan. He's one of my favorite cricketers. I've always idolized him. I know I can't be as good as him, but I always wanted to learn a lot from what he does in the game. And I feel he's one of the best bowlers in T20 cricket for a long time.
Yeah, because it's a very exciting format, T20, and what I like to see is all around the world, all the different kind of styles of play that might suit to it. So I definitely see what you mean there. And so obviously with the MLC, we have these different rules, like we talked about earlier, like retaining players and certain overseas players. But let's just say theoretically, let's just say all those rules went away. If you could sign one current cricketer to Washington Freedom that doesn't play there already, who would it be?
I would say Sunil Narayan, but I know it's with a different team. If I would go with another player, uh, I'll have to actually think. There are a lot of guys who are playing in different teams who are already there. But if I have to look out of the pool, then of course there are no Indian players that would be allowed to play. So probably Liam Livingstone
Oh,
is one guy
that's
that I
a
would.
great choice. What a
Yeah.
player, yeah. So, like, take how you feel now about like the growth of cricket and about the future of domestic cricket in the U.S. Is it different than when you first joined here? I guess like when you said you first moved over here 4 years ago. Were the expectations you had for cricket in the United States then the same for now, or has it different, or has it changed, and if so, in which way?
But there's a lot of change, including starting from the facilities. When we started playing the first season of minor league cricket, a lot of games were played on artificial surfaces the first season. But if you actually go back and look the previous season, a lot of games were played on turf. Now that a lot of cities have their own turf grounds, so I think cricket has changed a lot in the America, especially infrastructure-wise, compared to the last few seasons.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Do you think the kind of like cricketing infrastructure, and I guess because to have interest in something is one thing, but to actually put it like a financial investment from the teams and the league and the cricket board and whatnot is another. Do you think that's the biggest difference? Maybe the infrastructure.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the sport growing, a lot of people are more invested into investing into the infrastructure right now. because there's a lot of promise and there's a lot of growth and there's a lot of expectation in the market. So I think that's one reason why people have been investing into the infrastructure, because I feel infrastructure is one of the most important things for the sport to grow in any nation. And once you start having good facilities, you'll always start producing good cricketers.
Yeah, and as exciting as it is, and I don't want to like talk down how exciting it is for a second, but I guess I'm trying to say it doesn't surprise me a ton how well the cricket market is doing in America, because if you look at the sports market in the U.S. with like NFL, NBA, stuff like that, and the global interest in cricket, and like it's like what we said, like we've known there's been an interest in cricket in America for years. It just kind of like we have a platform now. It's like what you said earlier. I think you said it very well. We kind of have a chance to kind of embrace it, which is good. Like where I live in Massachusetts, I started playing Cricket League last year, and it was like unheard of, so my friends had never heard of it. So I just think, I guess what I'm trying to say is it definitely has an impact when we have these guys like you playing Major League Cricket, and we have all these big names coming over. It definitely kind of has an impact on a grassroots level, which I think is really important for kind of maintaining the interest. But yeah, I guess the last question I've written down is do you have, this is something I ask like any athlete, whether they play like football, soccer, like and that's like, do you have like one goal for your career, or is it just kind of like day by day you just kind of try and put in the work then, or do you kind of think of the bigger picture, like I want to get here, I want to do this?
There's of course definitely a long-term goal that you always have, but I think there are also shorter goals that you have to reach to make it to your long-term goal. And I think that's how I have one as well. Definitely, my long-term goal is to represent the US at a World Cup. That's what I'm aiming at. But then the short-term goals will be doing well in Major League and getting into the US team, or using any platform to get to the national team. So there'll also be you'll also divide them into shorter goals right now. So I think that's how I look at it.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good goal to have, obviously, because I think it's one thing to kind of see all this excitement around cricket, but I think to be a part of that'd be really special. So I definitely I see what you mean by that. But yeah, that's all the questions that we had written down. Thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. I'll certainly be keeping an eye out for you. MLC, I think Washington Freedom gained a fan today. So yeah, thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. It was nice to talk to you.